Good morning students. I hope you are all doing good. Let us see what we are going to discuss in today's class.
Good morning, ma. In previous class we have seen what about the different types of atomic radii. Those are three types, ma. Van der Waals radius, metallic radius and covalent radius. Every time van der Waals radius is greater than metallic radius is greater than covalent radius. That is okay. Everything is clear for you. Now we will see what about the atomic radius variation in groups and periods. First one is variation of atomic radius in groups. Let us consider first group: lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Last element is radioactive element, ma. While we are coming to this type of properties, generally that radioactive element will not be considered. So lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Coming to electronic configuration of lithium: 1s2 2s1. Sodium: 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s1. Potassium: 1s2 2s2 2p6 3s2 3p6 4s1. Rubidium: 5s1. Cesium: 6s1. That outermost shell electron is entering into new shell. In lithium it is present in second shell. In sodium it is present in third shell. In potassium it is present in fourth shell. That means distance between the nucleus and outermost shell from lithium to sodium increases, because this is present in outermost shell is second shell only, ma. In sodium it is third shell. So it is clearly seen that in lithium the radius is small. Coming to sodium, that radius increases. From sodium to potassium, furthermore radius increases, like that. Keep on increasing because electron is entering into new shell. When the electron is entering into new shell, okay, automatically distance between nucleus and outermost shell increases. So in a group from top to bottom, remember variation of atomic radius in groups. Not only this property, wherever we will keep the heading group, we will consider that in a group from top to bottom only. In a period left to right, we will see like that. In a group from top to bottom, and in a period left to right we will see. So in a group from top to bottom, what happened to atomic size or atomic radius? Increases. That statement I am going to write now. In a group from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. In a group from top to bottom, atomic radius increases. That is about variation of atomic radius in groups. Okay, next, in periods. Let us consider one period: lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Lithium electronic configuration is 1s2 2s1. Beryllium 1s2 2s2. 1s2 2s2 2p1. 1s2 2s2 2p3. Left side, these are metals. These are all non-metals. By seeing that also we can understand every time metallic radius is greater than covalent radius. Non-metals contain covalent radius, ma. Till now we have seen those only. Okay. Non-metals contain covalent radius. metals contain metallic radius. Every time metallic radius is greater than covalent radius. So like that we can see the order, but particularly by using the electronic configuration we can say. Observe here, consider lithium. Lithium contains outermost shell, that is second shell, 1s2 2s1. In second shell 1 electron is there. At that time number of protons present in lithium, that is 3 protons. Coming to beryllium, that outermost shell is remained same only. Observe, that outermost shell is remained same only. There is no change in outermost shell for beryllium, but number of protons are increased, 4 protons. Electrons are coming into same shell, but nuclear charge is increased. Boron, 2s2 2p1, that is also second shell only. Boron, that is also second shell. So electron is coming into same shell, but number of protons 5 protons. Carbon, 4 electrons, but number of protons 6 protons. Like that, left to right, shell number is not changed, but nuclear charge is increased. Is it correct or not? But nuclear charge is increased. I hope you are understanding, ma. Left to right, there is no change in shell number. Lithium to fluorine. Why didn't I write neon? You will understand later. See, lithium to fluorine, shell number is same only, second shell. Electrons are entering into second shell only. But lithium contains 3 protons, fluorine contains 9 protons. Means left to right, nuclear charge is increased, but shell number is remained same. When shell number is remained same and nuclear charge is increased, this nucleus will strongly attract the outermost shell. When nuclear charge is increased, attraction also increases. That force, power also increases. Then this nucleus will attract the outermost shell left to right. That attraction increases. When that attraction increases, that outermost shell will come little bit closer like that. Because strength of the nucleus is increased, that is only I told. When nuclear charge is increased, it will attract the outermost shell very effectively. In previous one, in a group, top to bottom, number of protons are increased, that is confirmed, but electrons are entering into new shell. Electrons are not entering into, outermost electrons are not entering into same shell. Here, a new shell is going to be added from top to bottom. So, even though nuclear charge is increased, shell number is also increased. That's why top to bottom in group, atomic radius increases. But coming to period, left to right, shell number is remained as same only, but nuclear charge is increased. Then this nucleus will attract the outermost electrons very strongly. Because of that outermost electrons, they will come closer. Means outermost shell little bit quenched, they will come closer. Because of that, what happened to atomic radius? Atomic radius decreases from left to right. In a period, atomic radius decreases from left to right. Now, what is the order of the atomic radius of these elements? Lithium is greater than beryllium, beryllium is greater than boron, boron is greater than carbon, is greater than nitrogen, greater than oxygen, greater than fluorine, but fluorine is less than neon. Why? Neon is inert gas. In neon, we will consider van der Waals radius. Van der Waals radius is greater than metallic radius. Van der Waals radius is greater than metallic radius. Metallic radius is greater than covalent radius. So according to that, every inert gas is biggest particle in a period, because we considered van der Waals radius in case of neon. It is inert gas. In case of neon, we will consider van der Waals radius. So this one is bigger than metallic radius also. That's why this order will be changed here. And in a period, first period, fluorine is the smallest one, not neon. Fluorine is the smallest one. Lithium is greater than beryllium, beryllium is greater than boron, boron is greater than carbon. Like that we will write the order, and fluorine is the smallest one, first period. Is it clear? This is happening in periods. So in periods, atomic radius decreases from left to right. And this is the order for first period. Like that every period will be followed same thing only. That's why halogens are smallest. Halogens are the smallest groups in periodic table. They will maintain like this only, everything. Top to bottom again increases. Next, first group, I took the example in group Ma, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Lithium is less than sodium, sodium is less than potassium, potassium is less than rubidium, rubidium is less than cesium. This is the order for this one. And cesium is the biggest atom in first group. Radioactive elements will not be considered. That's why we are not considering francium. And why neon has higher atomic radius when compared to fluorine? Because in neon we consider van der Waals radius. That's why only neon is the atom which contains more atomic radius than fluorine. Is it okay, ma? This is about variation of atomic radius in groups and periods. Variation of atomic radius in groups and periods. This is the completion of first property. Atomic radius we completed. Next we will go for second property, that is ionization energy. Ionization energy is also called ionization enthalpy. Which is also called as ionization potential. So, shorthand representation of this ionization energy or ionization enthalpy or ionization potential, we will use IE or IP. Shorthand representation, we will represent it as IE or IP. What is the second heading, ma? Ionization energy or ionization enthalpy or ionization potential. Representation IE or IP. Okay, now let us see the definition. First, you have to be very clear about definition. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. First note down the definition carefully. The definition is the minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. Neutral means the particle is in neutral state. It is not carrying any positive charge or negative charge. Isolated, it is not in combined state. It should not be in combined state and in gaseous state. Okay, because in solid state, if you give energy to remove the electron, some amount of energy is wasted in the form of separation of atoms. First, the atoms must be separated. For that only energy will be wasted. After that only energy is required to remove the electron. So, if you take solid and if you apply energy to remove the electron, that is not actual value of ionization energy. Is it okay? In solid state, the atoms are present very closely packed with each other. So if you supply energy to remove the electron, you are thinking that we are giving energy to remove the electron only. But first we are supplying energy that is used as separation of atoms. So solid will become liquid and liquid will become gas. Then only we can remove the electron from the gaseous state. That's why directly we are taking that atom in the form of gaseous state only. That's why definition is included very particularly. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Now the explanation of this definition is, let us consider any one atom which is containing one electron in outermost shell, and it is held in the shell because of attraction between nucleus and that electron. There is an attraction present between nucleus and electron. Because of that only that electron is present in that orbit. Is it right? Because of attraction between that nucleus and that electron, then only it is present. Now we need to, this is present in neutral state, gaseous state, and in isolated state. That means it is not in combined state also. Pure atom I have taken. Okay. Now we need to supply some amount of energy from outside to remove that electron. How much amount of energy is required from outside to remove that electron from the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom? That is called ionization energy. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. See, we need to give some amount of energy from outside. Simply atoms, they will not lose an electron easily. Even though they want to get stability also, particular reason is there, then only they will donate the electron. Correct? For that also some amount of energy is required. But depending on atom size and different factors are there. Different factors are there to affect the ionization energy. A bigger atom can lose the electron easily, like that. Different factors are there. Those factors also we will see clearly. Now first we are going to see the definition. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom. For removing this electron present in outermost shell, how much amount of energy is required from outside when it is present in neutral isolated gaseous state? That is called ionization energy. This energy is called ionization energy or ionization potential. Both are same only. I hope you are clear with the definition. The minimum amount of energy required to remove an electron from outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called ionization energy. Now we will see the units of this ionization energy. This is energy only, na? What are the units? Joules per mole. For one atom, generally we cannot consider one atom. So 1 mole of atoms in gaseous state we will take. For that 1 mole of atoms, how much amount of energy is required to remove the electrons? 1 mole of electrons. That's why this is joule per mole or kilojoules per mole, calories per mole or kilocalories per mole, x per mole or x per mole only. These are the regular things, but maximum we will use joules per mole or kilojoules per mole only. Every time we will use joules per mole or kilojoules per mole only unit. These are the units of ionization energy. Is it okay, ma'am? But till now we have seen the ionization energy definition, that is first ionization energy, ma'am. Because when we are going through some information in NEET problems, ma'am, sometimes we will see IE1, IE2, IE3, like the different things we will see. IE1 is nothing but first ionization energy, IE2 is nothing but second ionization energy, IE3 is nothing but third ionization energy. Is it okay? Now let us consider to explain what about second ionization energy and third ionization energy also. Till now whatever the thing we have explained from a neutral atom, that means we are going to remove first electron. The minimum amount of energy required to remove the first electron from the outermost shell of neutral isolated gaseous atom is called first ionization energy. But generally we will say ionization energy first. After that only we will define second ionization energy and third ionization energy. Let us consider magnesium. Magnesium contains 11 protons in the nucleus, first shell, second shell, and third shell. What is the electronic configuration of magnesium? Electronic configuration of magnesium is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2. In first shell we have 2 electrons. In second shell 8 electrons are there. And in third shell 2 electrons are present. This is the neutral atom magnesium. For this I supplied some amount of energy from outside to remove the first electron. This is called IE1. Okay ma? Now see, magnesium I supplied IE1, it is converted to Mg plus. Why? We removed one electron. When we remove one electron, it will be converted to Mg plus. Mg plus also contains 11 protons only. We are not going to affect the proton. First shell, second shell, third shell. This time we have one electron only in third shell. Number of electrons present here is 11 electrons. Sorry ma, one more. Once again I am telling sorry. Here 12 protons actually. Atomic number of magnesium is 12. Sorry for this one. Really. 12 protons. I'm very sorry about this. 12 protons. Here one electron is removed by giving ionization energy 1. It is changed to Mg plus. In Mg plus, 11 electrons are there, but 12 protons are there. Is it correct or not? Then nuclear charge is greater when compared to electrons. Previously, 12 electrons are attracted by 12 protons. But here, 11 electrons are attracted by 12 protons in Mg plus. 11 electrons. Number of electrons is smaller than protons number. Number of electrons is smaller than protons number. Then this nucleus will hold the electrons very strongly when compared to previous neutral state. Coming to cation, attraction between nucleus and electrons will be increased. Because of that, these orbits, they will come closer. When the attraction increases, the orbits will come closer. Because of that, size of cation is every time smaller than neutral atom. Size of Mg plus is smaller than size of magnesium. Now say once we want to remove this electron. This is second electron. For the removal of this second electron, I will supply energy, that is called IE2. The amount of energy required to remove electron from outermost orbit of unipositive ion. The amount of energy required to remove electron from outermost orbit of unipositive ion is called ionization energy 2. Is it correct? Ionization energy 2. But the problem is here, previously we removed the electron from big atom. I told here size of Mg plus is smaller than size of Mg. So Mg is bigger than Mg plus. Electron present in magnesium can be removed easily. That's why IE1 is less. Because attraction is less between nucleus and outermost electron. So we can remove the electron easily and IE1 is less. But here we need high amount of energy to remove this electron because this is very strongly attracted by 12 protons because 11 electrons present in with 12 protons. So this electron is also very strongly attracted by nucleus. Because of that, automatically when attraction increases, energy required to remove that electron is also increased. That is called IE2. High amount of energy is required to remove the electron from outermost orbit of unipositive ion. That is called IE2. So automatically IE2 is greater than IE1. From Mg plus, by supplying IE2, you will be getting Mg plus 2. Now it is stable. It will be stopped here. Is it okay? So in magnesium, we have two ionization energy values. That is IE1 and IE2. Every time IE2 is greater than IE1 because IE1 is the ionization energy required to remove the electron from neutral atom. But IE2 is the amount of energy required to remove the electron from unipositive ion. Energy required to remove the electron from unipositive ion is greater than energy required to remove the electron from neutral atom. Energy required to remove the electron from neutral atom. I hope you are clear because cation size is smaller than neutral atom. So every time remember the term carefully. Size of cation is smaller than size of neutral atom. I am going to write here. Before that, I hope you are clear, IE2, IE1. Now let us consider aluminium. For aluminium, outermost electrons are 3. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p1. How many electrons are present in third shell? 3 electrons are present in third shell. Okay, so how many ionization energies are there for aluminium? 3 are there. Energy required to remove one electron, first electron, energy required to remove second electron, energy required to remove third electron. Like that, aluminium by gaining IE1, it will be converted to Al plus. This Al plus by gaining IE2, it is converted to Al plus 2. This Al plus 2 by gaining third ionization energy, it will be converted to Al plus 3. Then what about that order of IE1, IE2, IE3? IE3 is greater than IE2 because some more attraction is increased. Already I told clearly. Further, when charge present on the cation increases, size decreases. IE3 is greater than, IE2 is greater than IE1. Every time these important points you have to remember carefully. Aluminium has 3 ionization energies: IE1, IE2, IE3. So automatically from Al plus 2, if you want to remove electron, it is very difficult because very strongly attracted, that outermost electron is very strongly attracted by the nucleus. Because of that, high amount of energy is required to remove the electron. In that way, IE3 is greater than IE2, IE2 is greater than IE1. Like that, if you have IE4, IE4 is greater than IE3, IE3 is greater than IE2, IE2 is greater than IE1. That is okay. Now, I am going to give some points for you which are useful for your MCQs. First one. Cation atomic radius is greater than neutral atom atomic radius. Second one. Sorry for this one, less than. Cation atomic radius is smaller than neutral atom atomic radius. Anion radius or anion atomic radius is greater than neutral atom atomic radius. Because anion contains excess electrons. Let us consider one anion. Cl contains 17 protons, 17 electrons. But Cl minus contains 17 protons, 18 electrons. One excess electron is present. Because of that, 17 protons cannot hold the 18 electrons that much strongly. So slightly distance increases. Attraction decreases, distance increases. Automatically, anion size is bigger than neutral atom. Anion size is every time bigger than neutral atom. So final conclusion of this one. Anion size is greater than neutral atom size. Neutral atom size is greater than cation size. Every time cations are smaller than neutral atoms and neutral atoms are smaller than anions. This is the conclusion. Okay, next. When charge present on, second point. This is third one. When charge present on cation increases, size decreases. Attraction power increases and size decreases. Fourth one. When charge present on anion increases, size increases. When charge present on anion increases, size increases. Now, for this third point, when charge present on cation increases, size decreases. Example, Al plus 3 is smaller than Al plus 2 is smaller than Al plus is smaller than aluminium. So here aluminium neutral atom bigger than unipositive ion. This unipositive ion is bigger than Al plus 2. That means dipositive ion. This dipositive ion is bigger than tripositive ion. This is regarding aluminium. Same way Mg plus 2 is smaller than Mg plus is smaller than Mg. So when charge present on cation increases, what happened to size? Size decreases. Next, coming to charge present on anion. N minus 3 is bigger than N minus 2 is bigger than N minus 1 is bigger than N, comma, O minus 2 is bigger than O minus is bigger than O. When charge present on anion increases, automatically atomic size, that means its size also increases. When charge present on anion increases, size increases. When charge present on cation increases, size decreases. This is the information. According to SEISMA, we can discuss the ionization energy. Okay, this is the complete information about IE1 and IE2. And even IE3 also. Every time IE3 is greater than IE2, IE2 is greater than IE1. Okay, this is information, definition, everything it is clear now. Now we have to see how this ionization energy will be varied in groups and periods. Before going to see how this ionization energy is going to be varied in groups and periods, we have one term that is called factors affecting ionization energy. What is that, ma? After completion of this only, we can go through variation of atomic size, variation of ionization energy in groups and periods. Let us see what is the heading, ma? Factors affecting ionization energy. What are the factors they are going to affect the ionization energy? First one, atomic radius. My question is for you, I am considering two atoms. Here one electron is present, here one electron is present. From which atom we can remove the electron easily? Easily is nothing but with less energy. Coming to big atom, distance between nucleus and outermost shell is high. Small atom, distance between nucleus and outermost electron is small. When the distance is more, attraction is less. When the distance increases, attraction decreases. Attraction is less. Then we can remove the electron easily with less ionization energy. When attraction is less, removal of electron is easy. And with less amount of energy itself, we can remove the electron. So, when size of the atom increases, ionization energy decreases. So, what is the relation between atomic radius and ionization energy? Ionization energy is inversely proportional to atomic radius. ionization energy is inversely proportional to atomic radius. This is the first factor. When atomic radius increases, ionization energy decreases. Next, second one. Electronic configuration. See this electronic configuration here, one property is there. Completely filled and half filled configurations are more stable than other configurations. Completely filled and half filled configurations are more stable than other configurations. Example, P can accommodate 6 electrons. P6 completely filled. P3 half filled. These two are more stable when compared to P5, P4, P2, P1. Okay, ma? P6 and P3, this is completely filled configuration, this is half filled configuration. Every time completely filled and half filled configurations are more stable than other configurations. Okay, from a stable atom, we cannot remove the electron easily. High amount of energy is required because if you remove that electron, it may lose the stability. So in the universe, no one wants to lose the stability. So it will hold the electron, nucleus will hold the electron very strongly. So high amount of energy is required. So energy required to remove the electrons from stable configurations is high. That means ionization energy of P6 and P3 examples I told you. Now I will write C. Ionization energy of completely filled and incompletely filled configurations is more than ionization energy of other configurations. Meaning high amount of energy is required to remove the electron from stable configurations when compared to other configurations. That is nothing but high amount of energy is nothing but ionization energy is high. So ionization energy of completely filled and incompletely filled configurations is more than ionization energy of other configurations. Okay, ma? Not affected by size also. Even though size is small, according to that configuration only we can give the order. Okay, this is about second factor, which is electronic configuration. And next, third one, nuclear charge. For your understanding purpose, I am considering two atoms. These two atoms contain electron present in outermost shell, second shell only. But here 11 protons are there, here 12 protons are there. Nuclear charge is increased, but electron is remained in same shell only. Nuclear charge is increased, but electron is remained in same shell only. Is it correct or not? In that condition, here this nucleus will hold the electron very strongly. This nucleus will hold the electron very strongly when compared to here. Then amount of energy required to remove the electron here, it is high. So when nuclear charge increases, ionization energy also increases. When nuclear charge increases, ionization energy also increases. So what is the relation between ionization energy and nuclear charge? Ionization energy is directly proportional to nuclear charge. This is the third factor which is going to affect ionization energy. Ionization energy is directly proportional to nuclear charge. Is it okay, ma? When nuclear charge is increased, attraction between that nucleus and outermost shell increases. So it is very difficult. High amount of energy is required to remove the electron. Automatically ionization energy also increases. This is third property, third factor which is going to affect the ionization energy. Okay, ma'am? So in today's class, we have seen clearly ionization energy. What about the definition? And what about IE2, IE1, like that, everything we have seen. Even sizes of cation and anion also considered. And factors affecting we started, ma. In that first factor atomic radius, second factor electronic configuration, third factor nuclear charge we have seen. Fourth factor shielding effect we will go through in next class, and today's class it is enough. Okay, we will continue the factors affecting ionization energy in next class, and we will see that how ionization energy is going to be affected in group and period in next class. I hope you are clear about today's class, ma. Thank you all. Have a nice day.